The gospel for today, among many other things, speaks of wealth and making good use of them. And also, we call the same wealth our faith, that the faith is the greatest wealth we have. Even Jesus in a parable says about faith as like a pearl of great price. So that's the greatest wealth we have. So in times of pain, suffering, disturbance, sometimes we look for comfort somewhere else. In our desire for answer to questions, trust, hope, we hung on to sometimes earthly things. And we ended up hopping from one state of prostration to another. Because true consolation is only in God. Only in God. And when you say faith in God, consolation, my friends, it's no easy. Jesus became man. When he became man, he submitted himself to all human conditions, even state of prostrations, even fear and anxiety, even submitted himself to the uncertainty of what comes next. Remember, Jesus picked the 12, and before he picked the 12, he prayed to the Father, and from among the 12, 2 betrayed him, Judas and Peter. He was subjected to the uncertainty of what comes next. At the Garden of Gethsemane, he prayed, Father, take this cup away from me. He was so afraid of what comes next. At the cross, he cried, why have you forsaken me? But the summary of all this is we have Jesus loud and clear. He says, Father, into your hands I commend my spirit. He says, Father, your will be done. Therefore, when we say faith, the wealth of faith we have is the answer to the uncertainties. Not solution, but answer to men. Despite the uncertainties of life, despite the difficulties of life, you cannot find true consolation somewhere else. It has to be with God. It has to be with God as our true wealth. That we hung on to Him. The fear of what comes next, the questions about answers to problems, solutions to problems, do not find them in the things of this world, because only consolation is in God. Have a space for God. Have a space for God. There may be questions. When the Blessed Virgin Mary was told, you become the mother of the Son of God, the response was not an immediate yes. The Blessed Virgin Mary said, how can this be? It was so difficult for her, because if she says yes to the message of the angel, of course, she gets pregnant. But how is it when she is betrothed to Joseph? Therefore, not only that she is punishable by law, but there is a deeper concern. She will lose Joseph, the love of her life. It's not easy. That's why she asked, how can this be? It's not how to get pregnant. She knows that. It's about how can this be? I will lose the love of my life. That is so painful. But eventually she says, your will be done. Can you imagine Mary together with Joseph knocking at the door of the inn, waiting entrance or to be accepted, and they were denied because the inn is full? Can you imagine the suffering, the pain, the anxiety? She already had her labor pains, about to give birth, and there was no place to give birth. Just imagine how she felt that time. But she went through all this. And you know, in the apparitions of the Blessed Virgin Mary, during our time, in the apparitions, be it in Fatima, be it in Guadalupe, be it in Lourdes, when those witnesses are asked, can you describe to us the look of the lady you are talking about? The kids in Fatima? Everywhere. When it is said that there is the apparition, when asked, describe to us the lady you are talking about. The kids say, she's dressed in white, and she is a lady with a smile. A lady with a smile. That is what this faith brings us. Smile, confidence, comfort, despite the uncertainty of what comes next. Despite at times unfavorable conditions and situations. Don't find answer somewhere else. Don't look for consolation in the things of this world. Hang on to faith. This is our greatest wealth. And ask the Lord, Lord, please be here with me. As we continue this Eucharistic celebration, remember always the promise of God right from the start. In the story of creation, from the Genesis book in the Old Testament, when God creates, at the very start, God said, let there be light. If you ask, what is this light on the first day? Of course, it's not the moon, the stars, and the sun. Because the moon, the stars, and the sun are created on the fourth day, not the first day. Therefore, the first day, let there be light. It's a promise. It's a promise from God right at the start of creation. Let there be light. Because this light is Himself. He is our light. At the very start of life, at the very start of creation, God is not creating. He makes a promise. I will be with you always. Let there be light.